Throughout history and across cultures, tales of giants have fascinated and terrified us. From the towering Nephilim of the Bible to the mighty Jotnar of Norse mythology, these colossal beings have left an indelible mark on our collective imagination. But what if giants aren't just the stuff of legend? What if they walked among us in modern times? Enter the giant of Kandahar, a modern legend that has sparked curiosity and debate. Join us as we delve into a mix of legend, archaeology, and myth to uncover the truth behind these towering tales. In 2002, in the remote mountains of Kandahar, Afghanistan, a region known for its rugged and often inhospitable terrain, a group of US soldiers reportedly encountered a giant. This was during a routine patrol, a mission like many others they had undertaken in this war-torn region. The soldiers were well trained and prepared for various threats, but nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to face. Described as having red hair, 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, the giant stood at an estimated height of 12 to 15 feet. This description matches various historical accounts and mythological depictions of giants, which have been part of human folklore for centuries. The soldiers were initially in disbelief, thinking it might be a trick of the light or a figment of their imagination. However, this giant was said to be aggressive and formidable. It reportedly attacked the soldiers with incredible strength and speed, wielding a massive spear. The soldiers, despite their advanced weaponry and training, found themselves in a desperate struggle for survival. The sheer size and power of the giant made it a terrifying opponent. The soldiers allegedly engaged in a fierce battle, ultimately killing the giant. This battle was not just a physical confrontation, but also a psychological one, as the soldiers had to overcome their fear and disbelief. The giant's death was a moment of both relief and shock for the soldiers, who had never encountered anything like it before. The body was then airlifted away, shrouded in secrecy. The military's swift and secretive actions have led to much speculation and conspiracy theories. Some believe that the giant's body was taken to a secret facility for study, while others think it was disposed of to prevent public panic. The lack of transparency has only fueled the mystery surrounding this event. Despite the sensational nature of this story, skepticism abounds. Many experts and historians question the plausibility of such an encounter, citing the lack of credible evidence and the fantastical elements of the story. Skeptics argue that the tale of the giant is more likely a myth or a misinterpretation of a real event. Critics point to the lack of concrete evidence and the absence of official reports. No physical remains, photographs, or credible eyewitness accounts have been presented to substantiate the claims. The military has not released any official statements regarding the incident, further casting doubt on its authenticity. Could this be a case of myth blending with reality? Throughout history, many cultures have tales of giants and other mythical creatures. These stories often serve as allegories or explanations for natural phenomena. It's possible that the story of the giant of Kandahar is a modern-day myth, born out of the chaos and uncertainty of war. Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Some believe that there are elements of truth in the tale, suggesting that the military might be hiding something extraordinary. Whether a real encounter or a fabricated story, the giant of Kandahar continues to captivate imaginations and spark debates. The truth, if it exists, remains buried in the sands of Afghanistan, waiting to be uncovered.
Giants have long been a staple of cultural myths. These towering figures, often depicted as both awe-inspiring and terrifying, have captured human imagination for centuries. From the ancient scrolls of the East to the sagas of the West, giants have been portrayed as both protectors and destroyers, embodying the dual nature of power and strength. Their stories are not just confined to one culture or one era, they span across continents and epochs, each with its own unique twist on the giant archetype. In the Bible, we find the Nephilim and the mighty Goliath. The Nephilim, described as the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, are often interpreted as giants who roamed the earth in ancient times. Goliath, the Philistine warrior defeated by the young David, is another iconic giant whose story has been told and retold through generations. These biblical giants symbolize not just physical might, but also the moral and spiritual battles that humanity faces. Norse mythology speaks of the Jotnar, a race of giants who were both adversaries and kin to the gods. The Jotnar, or frost giants, lived in Jotunheim, a realm of ice and rock. They were often in conflict with the Aesir gods, yet they were also integral to the Norse cosmology. The stories of Thor's battles with the giants and Loki's complex relationships with them add layers of intrigue and depth to these ancient myths. The Jotnar represent the untamed forces of nature, the chaos that exists alongside order. While Greek mythology introduces us to the Titans were the pre-Olympian gods, colossal beings who ruled during the legendary Golden Age. Led by Cronus, they were eventually overthrown by their own offspring, the Olympian gods, in a cataclysmic battle known as the Titanomachy. The Titans symbolize the primal forces of the universe, the raw power that existed before the advent of order and civilization. Their stories are etched in the ruins of ancient temples and the verses of epic poems. Even Native American legends tell of red-haired giants. Tribes such as the Paiute speak of the Si-Teka, a race of red-haired giants who were said to be fierce and cannibalistic. These giants were eventually driven to extinction by the ancestors of the Paiute. Such legends are not just tales of the past. They are woven into the cultural fabric of the tribes, passed down through generations as both cautionary tales and historical accounts. They reflect the struggles and triumphs of indigenous peoples in their quest for survival and identity. These stories often serve as metaphors, representing natural disasters, invaders, or cultural fears. Giants, with their immense size and strength, are perfect symbols for the overwhelming forces that humanity has faced throughout history. Whether it's the destructive power of a storm, the threat of an invading army, or the existential dread of the unknown, giants encapsulate these fears in a form that is both tangible and larger than life. They are the embodiment of the challenges that test the limits of human endurance and resilience. But what if there's a kernel of truth in these ancient tales? Could it be that these stories are not just figments of imagination, but are based on real encounters with beings of extraordinary size? Researchers and archaeologists have long pondered this question, sifting through ancient texts and artifacts for clues. The discovery of massive skeletal remains and the existence of megalithic structures have fueled speculation about the possible existence of giants in our distant past. These findings challenge our understanding of history and open up new avenues of inquiry. Could these myths be based on real encounters with colossal beings? The evidence, though sparse and often controversial, suggests that our ancestors may have had reasons to believe in the existence of giants. Colossal footprints fossilized in rock, enormous statues that defy conventional explanations, and ancient texts that describe encounters with giant beings all point to a tantalizing possibility. If giants did once walk the earth, what happened to them? Did they perish in cataclysms, or did they simply fade into the realm of legend?
As we explore these age-old stories, we delve into the collective psyche of humanity. These tales of giants are more than just myths. They are reflections of our deepest fears, hopes, and aspirations. They speak to the human condition, our quest for understanding, and our desire to make sense of the world around us. By studying these stories, we gain insights into the cultures that created them and the universal themes that connect us all. And the modern legends that echo them, we find that the fascination with giants has not waned. From fantasy literature to blockbuster movies, giants continue to capture our imagination. They serve as powerful symbols in our contemporary narratives, representing everything from the struggle against overwhelming odds to the exploration of the unknown. The enduring appeal of giants speaks to their ability to resonate with us on a fundamental level, transcending time and culture. We may find that the line between myth and reality is thinner than we think. The stories of giants remind us that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. They challenge us to look beyond the surface and to question what we know about our past. In doing so, we may discover that the myths of yesterday hold the keys to understanding the truths of today. The journey to uncover these truths is a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity and the endless quest for knowledge. Throughout history, there have been numerous claims of giant discoveries. These stories have captured the imagination of people across cultures and eras, often becoming part of local folklore and legends. From ancient texts to modern-day reports, the idea of giants has persisted, raising questions about the nature of these claims and the evidence supporting them.
In Lovelock Cave, Nevada, reports emerged of red-haired giant remains. These reports date back to the early 20th century, when miners discovered a series of unusual artifacts and bones. The local Paiute tribe had long spoken of a race of red-haired giants, known as the Sitika, who were said to have been their enemies. The discovery seemed to lend credence to these oral histories, sparking significant interest and debate among archaeologists and historians. Newspaper articles from the 19th and early 20th centuries often featured stories of giant skeletons. These sensational headlines captured the public's attention, with many believing that these discoveries were proof of a forgotten race of giants. However, the veracity of these reports was often questionable, with many stories lacking credible evidence or scientific validation. Despite this, the allure of giants continued to fascinate and inspire further exploration and speculation.
However, not all claims hold up under scrutiny. Scientific investigation and critical analysis have debunked many of these stories, revealing them to be either misinterpretations or outright fabrications. The process of verifying such claims involves rigorous examination of the evidence, including the context in which the remains were found, the methods used to date them, and the credibility of the sources reporting the discoveries. The Cardiff giant, for instance, was a famous hoax that taught us valuable lessons about skepticism. Created in 1869, the Cardiff giant was a 10-foot-tall, purported petrified man that drew massive crowds and generated significant media attention. However, it was later revealed to be a cleverly crafted statue designed to capitalize on the public's fascination with giants. This incident highlighted the importance of critical thinking and the need for scientific validation in the face of extraordinary claims.
Many alleged discoveries can be attributed to misinterpretations of fossilized remains, such as prehistoric megafauna or outright forgeries. Fossils of large animals like mammoths or mastodons were sometimes mistaken for human giants, leading to erroneous conclusions. Additionally, some individuals deliberately created fake artifacts to deceive the public and gain notoriety or financial profit. These instances underscore the challenges faced by researchers in distinguishing genuine finds from fraudulent ones. Yet, cases of gigantism in humans do exist, providing a possible explanation for some of these stories. Gigantism is a rare medical condition caused by an overproduction of growth hormone, leading to excessive growth and height. Historical records and medical documentation have shown that individuals with gigantism have existed throughout history, sometimes being mistaken for mythical giants. These real-life examples offer a plausible basis for some of the giant legends that have been passed down through generations.
Historical examples of people with this medical condition remind us that truth can sometimes be stranger than fiction. The stories of giants, while often exaggerated or misinterpreted, reflect humanity's enduring fascination with the extraordinary and the unknown. By examining these tales through the lens of science and history, we gain a deeper understanding of our past and the ways in which we seek to explain the world around us. Myths and stories have always played a crucial role in explaining the unknown.
The persistence of giant stories in modern times speaks to our psychological fascination with massive, powerful beings. In a world that often feels mundane, these tales offer a sense of mystery and wonder.
Archaeologists and anthropologists weigh in, exploring why these stories endure and what they reveal about our culture and psyche.
As we've seen, the story of the giant of Kandahar remains unverified but undeniably intriguing. Giants in mythology and archaeology reflect humanity's boundless imagination and our quest to understand the world around us. We encourage you to research and think critically about these tales. After all, what if the stories of giants aren't just myths? What if there's a grain of truth waiting to be uncovered?